Here we go. So let me see. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. Let's see. Create light retouch. What is retouch? What is retouch? I'm trying to think. Maybe I need to turn that off. Ooh. I think I hear my grandbaby. I think I hear my grandbaby. Ooh. I be watching these chef channels because I'm a cook and I be looking for different recipes and stuff. Oh, there was something else I want to try and see what this is. Oh, what is that supposed to be though? Hey, my one viewer. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, everybody, everybody, everybody. How you doing? Hello. Hi, everybody that's coming in. How are y'all? How's your day been? How's everybody day been? Good afternoon. And tell me where you're listening from. What state? What city? Drop your location. Drop your location down. Are you? I'm from North Carolina. Yeah, I'm from North Carolina. What's my favorite what? Food or favorite what? TV program, favorite what? Make sure y'all hit the like button. Give me some thumbs up and share my broadcast, y'all. Keep me in the algorithm. What's my favorite color? Oh, let me tell y'all, this is gonna be crazy to y'all. I like all of them. Um, you're gonna see that I have my hair right now is blue. I've had pink in my hair. I've had red in my hair. I've had green in my hair. I've had let me see. I think those are the only colors right now. Yeah. So I love all colors. Hi, baby girl, how are you? Make sure y'all thumbs me up and make sure y'all share my broadcast, okay? So I'm just love all colors. I don't have a favorite one. What's your favorite color? What's your favorite color? Baby girl, where you looking? What's your location? Y'all drop y'all locations down in the chat. Y'all give me a thumbs up. And some of y'all might was on my live on yesterday, and I was telling y'all how I was gonna bring certain things to my platform, and we're gonna continue where I left off from yesterday. So hi, my 5 viewers, and if you would drop your location, where you're watching me from, give me a thumbs up. Make sure you share my broadcast. That'd be greatly appreciated. It'd be greatly appreciated. And that will put me in the algorithm. All right. So, and I love for y'all to be engaged when you come into the chat as well. So yesterday we were talking about how my life had ended. Well, how I had to, how can I say, begin from 2018 when I lost my son to gun violence. Okay. And so I was getting through that period of my life. In that time frame, I end up going through major depression. I end up going through major depression, and I end up suicidal. All right, because here I am losing a son, and I wasn't ready for that. All right, so he was sitting in his car, listening to music, December the 29th of 2018. And they came inside his car and pim him in the head. And so he ended up passing away. And so that was the day that my life fully changed over. And so I'm having to adjust, or had to adjust from 2018. And I was trying to get over the hump, you know what I'm saying, of losing him, because I had, 3 extra children. Let me see, are you? Yeah, I'm not. I'm not. Do I look like her? Do I look like her? And y'all make sure y'all thumbs up my broadcast. So I must look like her to you. All right, and so like where I was left off at. Okay, so I end up trying to get through the process of losing him, going to talking to a therapist and stuff like that, and they had put me on medication for severe depression. So I went through that, and what helped me actually get through it was my son Joshua. He was there every day, telling me, you're gonna make it, mom, hold on, mom, do this. He was just my encourager. And so in 2021, y'all remember the outbreak of COVID, right? We had the first strand of COVID in 2021. 2021, my son Joshua passed. So here I was dealing with from 2018 with my other son who had passed from gun violence. And then now COVID took my baby boy. All right. So, oh, it was rough. I went through something that I never thought I would imagine. My life and my whole life have changed tremendously. I began to just sit in the bed and cry and eat and cry, and I got very depressed. And then after depression, suicidal thoughts began to try to enter into my head. And so I've ended up having to talk to a therapist. And so after talking to a therapist, they put me on medication. And so here I was dependent upon medication, all right? And the medication they gave me kind of blew me up. So I began to, be, huge because of the medication they had me on. And so I was like, I've got to get off this medicine because, I'm steady gaining weight. I'm not losing, I'm gaining. And I still was in a process of, again, losing my sons, thinking about them every day. It wasn't a day that didn't go by that I didn't think of them. And so I turned to alcohol. So remember yesterday I was telling y'all there are a right way to grieve, and then there's a wrong way to grieve, right? So you have to grieve properly, and you have to heal properly. And so I turned to alcohol, and I began to and I was not a drinker. Um, I was not a drinker, but that's what I ended up turning to. And so I started just drinking. I couldn't go to sleep without alcohol. When I wake up in the morning, I had to have alcohol. This was just going through the pain, and going through what I had to go through and thinking that that pain was going to, the alcohol was going to help soothe the pain, which created another problem. All right. So there is alcohol. I would tell anybody that when you lose a loved one, sitting down talking to somebody helps better than, going out and, getting alcohol, drugs. So, a lot of people get on alcohol or get on drugs. It don't necessarily mean that they was, um, once was alcoholic. It could be something major that happened in their life that they went through and they end up picking up, alcohol or end up picking up drugs. One of the things that I learned through my grieving experience, and I still have days and I have bad days, all right? So, one of the things I learned that helped me out was the first thing I began to accept. Acceptance is number one key. Acceptance. Accepting that you lost your loved one. Acceptance that, they're no longer here on earth. Acceptance that you cannot put your hands on them. Acceptance that you may not be able to hear their voice ever again in life, right? So, one of the first things I learned through my grieving process was acceptance. Acceptance was the key thing for me. So I tell people that when they go through grieving, losing loved ones, the first thing, accept it. You know, when my son passed in 2018, I had to put on a face for everybody. You know, I put on a face for my children. I put on a face for my grandchildren. I put on a face for my husband. I put on a face for my friends and family. I had to put on this face that I was strong. You know what I'm saying? That even though I lost my son, that I was strong. I was supposed to walk around like this didn't bother me. You know what I'm saying? I was supposed to walk around and take care of everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Making sure they're okay, making sure, they're taking this process and they're working through their grief. You know what I'm saying? And that's the wrong thing to do. That is the wrong thing to do because when that thing hit me like a ton of bricks, I went down. Okay? The worst thing for you to do after you lose a loved one, right? Especially if it's a child, or especially if it's a husband, or especially if it's, your parents or whatever, someone that's really close and valuable in your life. When you lose these people, don't look to build nobody else up but yourself. You know what I'm saying? And, you ever hear this saying that you have to take care of yourself before you can take care of somebody else? That is a true saying. But here I was when I lost my son in 2018. I was trying to make sure that everybody else was good, right? And that I forgot about me. You know what I'm saying? So I was pushing his death in the back of my mind. I was pushing his death in the back of my mind. I was going and like I was Superwoman. I was doing the burial arrangements, the programs. I done all of that. The cooking. I did all of that. Making sure that my daughter was okay, my sons was okay, my grandchildren were okay. And I pushed his death in the back of my mind. Like, I know something happened, but I won't accepting it. You understand? So, I was like, oh, well, he was the type of kid that never really, when he come around, he come around. But he was always that type of kid that was distant. He had his own family. He had his own stuff that he was doing. And when he seen me, he seen me. You know what I'm saying? I may see him maybe once out of a week or something like that. All right. But I was in my mind, I had them pushed his death in the back of my mind, right? Like, oh, he's just, he's gone away. I'll see him again, blah blah blah, or he'll call me. So the first thing I didn't do was accept him leaving, accept him, you know, being unalive. All right, I didn't want to accept it. Because I thought if I stay busy, I thought if I help everybody else, that I would not have to let go of him. You know what I'm saying? He had a kid, only kid he had. So I was trying to put all my time and effort into his child and make sure his child was okay and everything, okay? But again, acceptance I didn't want to do. All right. So I never forget, I began to talk with my baby boy, and I began to tell him, um, I was sitting on my bed and I was like, oh God, I miss him. Why? And I just began to just cry and weep and cry and weep and cry and weep. And I was felt myself like withdrawn from people. I started withdrawing from my children, withdrawing from my husband, withdrawing. You know what I'm saying? I had quit my job because I didn't feel like going to work the next day. So whenever that hit me like a ton of bricks, it took the air. It took the air out of my body. It's like I was deflating. You know what I'm saying? It was like the life that I once knew with my son involved in it. Now it's being deflated. You know what I'm saying? It's being deflated. I'm having to live life differently now. I'm trying to find my footing. I'm trying to see what I need to do. I felt less than a parent because when you lose a child, you feel like you have let them down. You felt like you left your spouse down. You just felt like you let, and I had a tight knit family. My kids was my joy, okay, my pride and joy. All right, so I was feeling guilty. I felt like I let everybody down, and you know, all of a sudden I was feeling this feeling of withdrawal. I was feeling this feeling of I don't want to, function. Like I didn't want to go to work. I ended up calling my job and letting them know I quit my job. So I was like going through withdrawal. You know what I'm saying? So acceptance is key whenever you go through that type of trauma. When you go through losing a loved one, number one thing is accept it. Accept it so you can be able to move on because you're going to go through, I call them the 5 steps of grieving. Okay. You're going to go through, withdrawal. You're going to go through, um, missing them and all you're going to go through that. But if I would have accepted it more, I could have been, I think more advanced in it. You know what I'm saying? So, then after the fact, I began to accept them, being gone. And so I end up getting into this group for children survivors, you surviving after losing a child. I got into this group and they kind of helped me a little bit, but not much. You know what I'm saying? I had to go through the process myself. I had to do my own self work. And it is work. When I say it's work, it is work. So I tell anybody if you put the work in, then you could be able to, reap the benefits of the work that you put in. And so that's why I'm actually here on YouTube is to talk about, um, you know, grieving about life after, someone that is special to you, close to you, have gone on, have passed on, that's unalive. And, some tragedies happen where people are brutally, unalive, and some, from sickness or whatever, And so, um, so today, we're gonna accept that they're no longer with us. We're gonna accept them being on, uh, you know, if you want to say a journey, we'll say that. But number one, today we are going to accept. And after acceptance, we're going to come back again and tell you what the next step that I took, okay, that have helped me through losing 2 loved ones, losing 2 children, okay? And so again, if you like my, if you like my commentary, you like this channel, give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you like this channel, and I'll be bringing more things to this channel. We'll be talking one on one, and stuff like that. And I would love for people when they do come on the channel to engage and to make sure they like it and share my commentary or share my live, so they can put me in the algorithm. So, number one, today we talked about acceptance. We talked about acceptance. All right. And so we're gonna come back tomorrow with another live, and we're gonna work this thing out. And I'm hoping that I start getting some feedback from you guys, whether you would like to hear uh, my process of me having two children, one that was unalive by gun violence and the other one through COVID-19, to tell you how you can make it. You know, you don't have to take your life, and it's not the end of the world, but it do change your life. You life that you once knew when you had those kids involved in your life, that's over. You know, you got to learn now how to adjust and to move past that, because you now are left here to survive. All right? So that's what we're looking for. All right? And that's what we're going to be talking about. So again, I'll see you guys tomorrow with another video. Make sure you like this live. Share me out there. Put me in the algorithm. All right? And let's go ahead and hit that subscriber mode to this subscribe, because you know subscribe is free. So come on and get your girl up there, all right? And I appreciate it. And y'all have a wonderful day. I'm out.